Okay, so I assume detective there, his playthrough is going to be something similar. He goes through all this stuff a little bit differently, and Emily is just roaming around trying to find her uncle with nothing happening to her. But where do we go now?
It was almost night when Emily found herself back at Derceto. What exactly had she been doing? And what was Detective Conby talking about? Did any of her findings make any sense? All she knew was that she wanted to figure out what the 3 steps to the contract entailed and how this was connected to Dr. Gray.
It's getting rough out there.
A dagger swathed in the grip of 2 sleek snakes found buried in the sunken temple along with the Dark Man's contract.
I need the key.
If we can just get rid of Jeremy, everything will go back to normal.
That reminds me. I saw Miss Emily earlier. You remember her? You know she's Jeremy's niece.
She's looking for him.
That's right. She's helping us, in her own way.
As long as she don't stand in the way of the mother of 1,000 young.
I don't think she knows or cares about that. She just here for Jeremy. I've been more worried about that Detective Conby fella. He been snooping around asking all kinds of questions.
God, it hurts.
I wish you would stop doing that. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
The orderlies, Baptiste and Lottie, were back at Derceto as well, like pieces of Emily's past haunting her. She couldn't figure out if they were on her side or not, and what was Lottie suffering from?
What is going on here? It's blocked.
Preparation for St. John's.
We must have faith that Jeremy's pact with the Dark Man is a bluff. If we are lucky, our visitors will find him and prove it's all nonsense before night falls. What is true is our attempt to call on her. Too many things have happened for this evening to be in vain. Think of Jack and Cassandra, even Perosi, whose circumstances I can't understand. Grace is a goat without horns. She knows it and will play the role. You must talk to your brother, Baptiste. I worry that he will fail us. Mrs. Thompson.
Okay, so there is extra stuff to pick up in these rooms. What's in here? I didn't see anything. Oh, in here. Broken spectacles. And then the library. Conservatory. I don't have access to yet. Oh, there's stuff in the attic. I should probably go back. I can't, though, because the boy's blocked off. God damn it. Okay. Hold on. So we're gonna go around the house before we do any, like,
I don't want to run into the orderlies right now.
Oh,
I should
man,
find
really?
another way.
Do not disturb sign. Well, I guess we gotta go the way we gotta go.
It's blocked.
Lunacy and the Astarte Artist Colony.
Lunacy and the Astarte Artist Colony, a monograph by Yael Klein. In early 1909, the old Derceto plantation outside of New Orleans was turned into an artist's colony. 3 famous European artists rented the house and the surrounding land from the owner, the Ledoux family. The colony was chiefly run by Sebastian Cortez, who was playfully dubbed the captain by his collaborators, William Arges and Heinrich Kassel. The colony existed for 6 years, until one day all 12 members disappeared without a trace. It is widely believed that their disappearance is connected to the disastrous hurricane that passed through on September 29, 1915, but nothing truly supports this claim. What is known is their frequent participation in New Orleans nightlife, their love for hosting parties, and their elaborate contributions to the Mardi Gras parades as the Pirates of Pontchartrain. Accounts of their lifestyle can be found in almost every gossip column. It can effectively be summed up as carefree and bohemian. In late June 1909, the name Astarte first appeared in the newspapers. Cortez said the name came to him as he was painting. There is never any claim to knowing about the ancient Phoenician fertility goddess with the same name before this time. His fellow colonist Heinrich Kassel did know, because he later produced sculptures that show clear references to ancient idols of the goddess. It's impossible to know for sure how this name suddenly made an appearance, but it is interesting because of Derceto's history. Even the name Derceto is the Greek name of a Syrian fertility goddess. In the case of naming the plantation, Derceto was certainly not an accident. We know that Elijah Pickford intended to build a temple for his cult, for he had distributed pamphlets 2 years prior to the purchase of the land, advertising his intentions. His followers were estimated to be almost 100 men and women, mostly sailors, Maroons, and Cajuns, when the plantation was built. To outsiders, Derceto registered as an ordinary slave plantation, which enabled Pickford and his flock to remain hidden for decades. The official story is that the cult lasted until 1862, when the Union Army came and burned down the plantation and scattered all who lived there. Following the Civil War, new people started to congregate in the ruins of Derceto to invent a new fertility goddess, the Shub Niggurath. As much as Derceto is a particular name to have heard of, it's not entirely uncommon among the learned. Astarte is equally known and could have been subconsciously chosen by well-read artists. Shub Niggurath is, on the other hand, very uncommon. Almost impossible that anyone in Louisiana would have heard that name. The name is referenced only in rare books like Unaussprechlichen Kulten and the Necronomicon, and is believed to be a bastardization of Arabic words meaning pertaining to the dark young. The few paragraphs printed on the goddess are so upsetting that no one in their right mind would want to build a religion resting on such qualities. The Shub Niggurath cult was hard to get rid of, but it is believed that despite the police jailing and killing several cultists over the years, the main culprit in the cult's demise is the cult itself, which seems to line up with every instance of cult activity on Derceto's grounds. When Captain J.W. Norton of the Union Army arrived, he described the people at Derceto as malnourished and maniacal. As much as the army tried to save them, they fought back with fervor, as if nothing was going to stop them from slowly destroying themselves. While the disappearance of the Astarte artist colony remains a mystery, the recurring motif seems to suggest that their fate involved lunacy and a hunger for self-sacrifice to that fertility goddess with 1,000 names.
Opera playbill. Keep our secrets.
Mrs. Thompson, I understand the last week has been busy. Under these circumstances, I find it important to remind you that Derceto's concerns are not a public matter, nor is it something that should upset you. Please continue your excellent work, and don't spend a thought on the death of Perosi, or, more importantly, the suicide of Cassandra Beauregard. They should mean nothing to you or the staff. I rely on your loyalty, and trust that your close kinship with the Tabois siblings will keep Derceto's secrets hidden. Dr. Gray.
What the hell is going on? I don't know what that was.
I need the key. Mr. Waits must have had a spare key to Dr. Gray's office, but where? I don't know the combination. Wait, maybe I do.
What do you mean? What exactly do you mean?
I better get to work on breaking the pact with the Dark Man. It's the only way to save Jeremy. Good thing I still have the talisman. I have a feeling I'm gonna need it.
We must have faith.
I need the key.
Okay, I'll come back to the office later. I'm gonna go check around some more. Detective Carnby.
Detective Carnby, I'm terribly sorry that my niece has pulled you into this mess. Please, with all my blessings, take her away from this cursed place. I have destroyed that Eater of Worlds and locked it away in the attic and retreated to a place of hiding. Tell Emily I'm safe. Tell her all the lies you can think of to make her listen. Take her back to New Orleans. Sincerely, Jeremy.
Is this why Carnby was in the attic with us? He saw this letter? Alright, everything's collected here. Let's go to Batista's room. Trust me.
Brother, I need you to trust me. This is the most important moment in our family's history. I know you have doubts and that the terrible Mama Loa told you lies. I would never betray you. I promise. Lottie.
Here we go. Now I can get back to the attic and see what's up there. Never mind. Why can't I go in?
Hey, little lady, how's your evening been going?
Ups and downs, I suppose.
I hear that. We all live in the life of an elevator operator.
Are you alright, sweetie?
Do you want to see my mask, miss? I'm making it for St. John's.
How did you... Is that supposed to be my... Ow!
What the fuck? Yo.
You should learn your place, little girl.
Why are you acting this way? What did I ever do to you? Grace! Grace!
I don't condone hidden children. Video game children, on the other hand. Oh, we got the Jack in the Box. Forbidden knowledge.
What a terrible thing to recognize that your betterment was an illusion. That you are so infatuated by the virtue of struggling that despite all your hard work, you made no real efforts to ever become well. Or that the treatment becomes such an obsession that instead of letting your wounds heal over time, you tear at the flesh in the hope that it will heal better and faster. If only it would bleed in the way you wanted. Do we ever become well? What do you think, Dr. Gray?
At least he's breathing. I'll just let him sleep it off.
First floor hall key. Thank
I'll
you.
just borrow these.
Movie script. Slaughter Gulch.
What did you expect from them? You created too much. There wasn't any room to breathe. Your reification rendered all possible worlds void. You took everything they could imagine and constrained it into something that you didn't even care about. Or maybe you did. Perhaps you cared the most of all. Maybe you tried to save them from themselves, and that is why you had to die.
Cassandra's last page.
Jeremy knew that the only one who could help him now was the guest in room number 3. The room seemed to have been empty for so long. But that wasn't allowed to be true. The story needed to be different. To include something from the outside, he would bring the guest back to room 3 and show them what was in that safe. 913. But those were not the right numbers. That was the combination for the safe in the clerk's office.
Thank you. 913. And that's Cassandra? So she's the one we've been hearing with our objectives.
The mask had reminded Emily of her father. It didn't seem like a chance connection, but a purposeful reference made by that child. How could Grace have known what he looked like, and that it would upset Emily so? And why would she use those words? Emily felt like it was beyond strange. It felt impossible. Did it even happen? Was she losing her mind?
There's something missing.
It was 913, right? 913. So would that be like left, right, left? Let's try it. 9, 1. There we go.
It worked.
Hooray! Dr. Gray's office. And the empty room.
The last guest in the empty room suffered from severe maladaptation. I must write this down, because if I understand the condition sufficiently, it could make me deny this fact at a later date. And there is reason for me to think I may come to suffer the consequences from this dysfunction, as some who came in contact with the guest seemed to adopt a new worldview in which everything was predetermined but broken. Upon accepting this worldview, some memories became unmanageable and later rejected. I do not know what this means. I cannot even remember the fate of the guest. I think they were simply misplaced one day and forgotten. Just like all documents pertaining to this guest, they have all been destroyed, or they never existed in the first place. Who wrote this? There has never been a guest in the empty room.
Okay. Hold on first.
Emily felt lost as she entered the office of Dr. Gray, much like she had the last time she was here. She began to question what she was hoping to find. She was simply going on a hunch that Dr. Gray was somehow tied up in this contract with the Dark Man. Emily couldn't even begin to imagine what kind of evidence she would need, besides a clear confession, of course. But she doubted she would ever find something like that. She was grasping at straws. The steps on the contract were so confusing to her that she was just hoping to get some small indication on where to go next.
Okay, I was gonna say, I think I know where the key goes now. The first floor hall key goes right over here. Oh, Dark Man. Okay. Whose room is that? Oh, it's the empty room. Okay, I'm supposed to go this way. I guess I'll take a look in Dr. Gray's office first. Collect what's ever in there, then go to that way, because I don't want to miss anything.
Here we are, Dr. Gray's office. Now let's see if we can find some answers.
Cassandra's things.
I have finished tidying up Miss Beauregard's belongings. I will leave it to you to contact her agent and have them collect her things. I found one of Grace's drawings she might want back, along with this key in her room, which I believe you've been looking for, Mrs. Thompson.
Oh, that's the globe. What else have we got here? Stairwell key. And then Jeremy's treatment.
Dearest Dr. Manzetti, I find myself in a losing battle with my patient. As I've disclosed in my previous letter, his delusions have him completely captured. It's bad enough that he is torturing himself with paranoia, but his madness turns out to be quite persuasive to others, effectively laying the ground for mass delusion. I am writing to you in hope that you can give me some guidance. Beyond my ambition to avoid devastating surgery on my patient, I have grown worried about my own defenses. The words of my patient are deranged, yet they often resonate with something primitive within me. I have tried photographing his brain with X-rays. It was surprisingly difficult to get good results. Dark blotches on the plates kept obscuring all details. My patient looked at the bad plates and cried out in terror, telling me the dark areas was the shadow of the worm, eating him from inside. I could not see anything out of the ordinary. I hope this is a sign that my mind is not as receptive to the madness as I had feared. After further inquiry, my patient described the shadows inside his mind as some kind of chthonic monstrosity that wants to undermine his sanctuary. This is clearly a reference to a place he calls Teroea, a sort of library or convent that works as a psychological haven. With this imaginary haven threatened by this Chthonian, he has now constructed another, less pleasant hiding spot. Lately, he has been bringing up a metaphor of a steamboat that has run aground, that he feels like he needs to start the engines and reverse, but he is afraid that the hole in the hull would cause the whole ship to sink. I've been watching him turn this metaphor into reality for the last week. He knows it's made up, but he is doubling down, trying to make it a real memory. I feel certain that this is my chance to break through the barriers of his self-deceit.
Oh, what?
This can't
What do I do? Cool. I do like the sudden transitions into just like another world, which is crazy. Like how it's just instant. But we got a piece of the globe, so we're gonna go use that. Getting a lot like info dump on chapter 4. I think the game is about 5 chapters, so it's understandable that we're getting this all last near the end. Map of Caribbean. It's showing there's still stuff in the clerk's office and Gray's office. Thought I collected everything. I'm not sure what I'm missing. Unless it's stuff I can get later. I'm not 100% sure on that. We have a basement to go to, though. Gotta get to the stairwell. I'm gonna save it first. Infirmatory. Holy crap. It's a whole thing down here. Scapegoat.
What's happening?
Radiography. Patient Jeremy Hartwood. Date June 14, 1930. Plates. Jeremy's skull proved difficult to capture properly. Partial radiographs worked best. A complete picture of the brain can be assembled by piecing 3 plates together. Observations. Even when looking at an assembled version, a shadow covers significant parts of Jeremy's brain. Possible tumor, but more likely that the equipment is failing. Jeremy reacted strongly to the pictures and claimed to see a giant clay worm eating and displacing his memories. Notes. While this exercise has left me nowhere closer to an answer, I feel confident that a Burkhardt lobotomy should sever all necessary parts. Hypothetical psychosurgery based on the ideas by Burkhardt and the St. Petersburg research could end up saving Jeremy's mind. Severing the connections around the frontal lobe would certainly solve most mental afflictions. The procedure would be brutal in performance, as well as in efficiency. An ice pick pushed through the edge of the eye and into the skull would untether the nerves like Alexander cutting the Gordian knot. As this would likely leave Jeremy in a very different condition, all other paths should first be explored. The medical instrument I would need for this lobotomy is missing, and I should have Waits order a new one.
Spare fuse can help regulate electrical power when inserted into a fuse box. Surgery room key. Another part of a radiograph. That's one.
What do you see, Jeremy? I can see the dark heart of the bayou. It is surrounded. By what, Jeremy? Dark young. 1,000 young! You have to keep looking, Jeremy.
Let him be, Lottie.
We have to know, Baptiste. We've worked so hard. What can you tell us, Jeremy? Please give us something. I hear voices. What do you hear, Jeremy? Whisperings. A giant. It's the young. They're praising her. The mother. Tell us what they are saying. What are they saying, Jeremy? Ever the praises abundant to the black goat of the woods. Hear us, mother, and take pity on us.
This is some messed up stuff.
What else, Jeremy? Accept our sacrifice and judge our work. Iha! 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 Shabnagras! Iha! Shabnagras! The black goat of the woods and the mountains!
What's this? Oh, that's better.
What the heck is that? Jeremy's darkness. Ew, it's gross. It's got tentacles. A broken piece of burned clay. Its size suggests it's being part of a statue. The pink stuff, I believe when it's pink that means there's still items there, but I'm not finding anything in these rooms. Maybe when I come back, I guess. Whoa. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
I guess I never got a chance to look around this place.
Now's a better time than any. My objective is to still go to the empty room. Okay. Just want to make sure that I don't miss it. Tessellated shard. I'll deal with that later.
What's this?
This is where the piano fell. And then there's this. Which I can't grab. Alright, so I don't think I have the code for this yet, so let's go back to towards the empty room.
Sometimes I think this place makes me worse. That Derceto might be my grave. A coffin made of ostentatious architecture. A Taj Mahal for the drunken depressed. There's something about Derceto. Something about Dr. Gray. Like we all pretend that we're here to get better, when in fact we are here to be forgotten.
So McCaffrey was one of the patients, right? We don't have the patient file anymore, but I assume he was. And this is Ruth's room. Our
Ruth,
buddy.
are you there?
Our best friend.
No, of course not.
Our swinging buddy. Henry Castle's Zoetrope.
Castle built the Zoetrope as an exercise in animation. He is very interested in moving pictures and has even ordered an aeroscope camera for the colony. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of phantasmagoria he will produce. For now, his Zoetrope entertains me greatly. It's not the little man passing his head, while quite humorous. It's the spell of that flickering light as it rotates. I swear, it takes me back to my childhood in a most profound way.
What is going on here?
Okay. So I guess this door's open now? Yes, it is.
This is my room. I belong here.
Derceto stands on a breeding ground for the grotesque, a temple devoted to rebellious growth, the most ugly and cancerous side of nature. You may be able to shield your psyche for a while, but rest assured your soul will come to pray to that hideous god in time. That is the story of every man and woman who gather around that ancient arbor. They all croak, bark, and bleat, because their own bodies are afraid and they wish to repel the evil those words conjure. Iya! Iya! Instead of that blasphemous name, they gossip in hushed whispers the name of Derceto Astarte, and the black goat of the woods.
I recognize this view.
I'll wait here alone. Listen to me. I'll wait here alone in the dark. Death do us part. When I get back.
When I get back, I did this. I wrote that. I don't know the combination. Wait, maybe I do.
It's gotta be this, right? Or... oh no, not this. No. When I get back, so 1 XXX, I'll wait here alone in the dark. Listen to me, death do us part. So I'm gonna go by the amount of words in each sentence. And that's left, this is on the right, and this is on the left. So 7, 4, 3. Try that. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 4, 3. No. When I get back. 1743. So that wasn't it. I don't know how else to proceed with this. Oh, that's it. 1918. So 9, 1, 8. There we go. Flashbulb. To Emily.
Darling, I finally found that photograph from my time in France during the war. I don't expect this to be your fiancé, but it did make me think of him. What an incredible man he must have been. You were lucky in a way. He could have been a nobody and died falling into the Mississippi. Instead, he volunteered to travel across the world to fight for people in despair, dying with honor like Achilles at Troy. I am jealous of you. Or maybe him. It's all incredibly romantic. That's what I wanted to say. Please feel free to use my camera if you want to. It might cheer you up. It might bring him closer to you. Even if just in memory. Ruth.
How long have I been here?
Oh.
Is this how you travel, Ruth?
The war in Europe rages on, and America is doing its part to hold back the German aggression. Ships from Boston and New Orleans arrived yesterday to bolster our gallant forces in France. These men will play a crucial role in helping our allies defend the innocent and defeat the German war machine. In trenches, they will defend themselves against the charging horde with razor-sharp ingenuity, all while planning how to advance the front with the use of artillery, machine guns, and pure American spirit. But there are more things than bullets and explosives that can cheat a man out of his God-given right to live. On the home front, a deadly influenza has claimed many lives. In New Orleans, almost 1,000 souls have perished in